Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to show you how I made this cute deer card today for Christmas. So to start, we're going to start with a piece of Tranquil Tide paper, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it at 4.25. So I'm just going to take my bone folder, give that a nice crisp edge. Then for layering pieces, we have a piece of Mary Merlot, and that's cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then we have a piece of Very Vanilla, and that's cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches across. And we're going to start with this piece right now. We're going to start and use the background stamp postscript, and this is in the annual catalog, and I just love it, and I feel it gets overlooked a lot, so I thought I would try and use it today. So it's a large background stamp, so we're just going to come in with crumb cake, and we're going to just ink it up. And you don't need to be quite as thorough on this one as you would on some background stamps, because I just want to give it a light look, so I'm not even going to press too hard on here. And I don't know why, but I always have to put my background stamps on with an angle for whatever reason. That's how it works for me. So we're just going to press lightly. I'm not even pressing that hard, just to give it a nice background. And there you go. So that's our background piece. Let me just put this down. Then we're going to start to work on this middle area in here. So the next piece is actually a piece of copper glimmer paper, and it comes in the Christmas catalog, the holiday catalog, and it comes in a pack called Joyous Noel, and it also has Mary Merlot and Tranquil Tide glimmer paper. And Stampin' Up! With the last annual catalog changed their formula on their glimmer paper. So if you haven't tried it, I really suggest you do. It's really pretty smooth now, and it runs through your Big Shot and your punches a lot easier than it ever had before. We're just going to leave it cut this way today, 3 3/4 by 3 inches across as a layering piece, but I highly recommend. They changed the formula on the gold and the silver and what's on the annual catalog as well. All right, so then we need two pieces. We need this Mary Merlot piece cut out and this deer. So what I did is I'm going to take the Mary Merlot, and this is just a piece of scrap Mary Merlot, but I wanted to give it a little more of a textured look. So I'm going to take a stamp from Timeless Textures, and this is a great stamp for adding things in the background of your cards if you need a little extra. And we're just going to ink it up with the Mary Merlot. I took this stamp right here, and I'm just going to ink a couple times in the center here. You don't even need to get to the edges because you're cutting this out, and no one's going to see the edges after you cut out. So I'm just going to stamp 3 times there. I'm just going to close my ink pads though, because I have a terrible habit of landing pieces of my cards in open ink pads. We don't want that to happen. All right, so I'm going to use for this piece part of the stitched labels framelits, and I use this a ton. If you don't have it, I strongly suggest you putting it on your wish list. All the pieces in the whole kit are really nice, and it's not a kit, it's a framelit set, but I really love it. And then the Tranquil Tide we're going to do with the deer from the Detailed Deers Thinlits. All right, so I'm just going to bring my Big Shot in, and we're going to run those through together. Move that stamp out of the way so I'm not in my stamp. And I have the magnetic platform and just a regular cutting pad. And then we're going to just put them both on at the same time. Just center that so that you know that the, whoops, let me show you, so that the stamped part is in the center of the stitched framelit. It's a little bit hard to fit the whole Big Shot in the frame. All right, so we're just going to run that through. Excuse my hand in the way. And it shakes the camera. All right. Let me put that aside. Take our pieces off here. Now, the deer I have found comes off very easily. You just want to get the back off. And then you can see it's already starting to lift for you. And if you just gently pull, it comes right out. I haven't had a problem with those at all. And then the stitched labels, you can see it's already out. And the only thing you have to do is just poke some of these holes. Don't poke. And you can use the brush. I just find there's not that many. I can go through fairly quickly and just punch them out with my paper piercer. Or you could use the pick tool that's in the holiday catalog as well. That works as well. I just didn't have mine out right now. So we'll just get all of those off. There we go. I think I got them all. Looks good. Alrighty. So let's put that aside. And now we're really have just a couple steps left before we can start putting our card together. So this is just a piece of scrap, very vanilla. And this I cut at 2 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to come back in with the Mary Merlot again. And the saying I'm using is from the Making Spirits Bright set, which is really cute. And this does have a matching punch for these. But today we're just going to use the saying right here. All right, so we're going to ink that up in Mary Merlot. And then let's see if I can get it on straight with the camera in my way. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now we're just going to start to assemble the card together. So we're going to use some snail adhesive to put the layers together. Or you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. I just like the snail. It's quick, it's easy, convenient, and for me it holds really well. Put a little on here. Alrighty. And then we're going to come in with this copper piece, and we're going to just center that in the middle of our card, just to add a little bit of bling to our card. All right. So then with this Mary Merlot piece, I'm actually going to use dimensionals. So I'm just going to put a few on the back. I have a new sheet of dimensionals today. Excuse me. Alrighty. Okay, and we're just going to pop that up in the center right here. And then we're going to do a few on our deer here. And then I propped him up. He looks like a dashing deer, like he's dashing through the snow. So I wanted to prop him up a little bit that way. And then with the Making Spirits Bright, it's just going to come in like this. So for this side, I'm going to put some snail on. But then it needed just a little something extra on the other end just to hold it up. So I'm just going to use a mini dimensional and pop it on the end so that it doesn't, so it's anchored a little bit. So we're going to come in like that. All right. And then the last step is a little bit of a bow. So I'm just going to take a piece of, this is metallic edge ribbon, and it's a 3/8 inch ribbon. I cut off more than I need just because I like it. I think it ties a little bit better, but we'll trim it down. This is way more than I need. We're going to just make a nice little knot there, and then just come in with my ribbon scissors, I don't know about you, but people in my class know I have one pair of scissors. They have a piece of ribbon on it, and it's only used for ribbon, and they stay so sharp. Last time I went and had my scissors sharpened, he told me these didn't even need to be sharpened. So it's nice to have a nice sharp pair for your ribbons. All right, so let's see if that looks pretty good. I'm just going to trim this one more time, a little bit shorter. Okay, so then all I do to adhere that on is the mini glue dots. I'm going to just peel back a layer, grab a glue dot, and then stick that on. And there's our Dashing Dear card. And I'll bring in the original. And so I think this card looks like you took a little more effort than it actually took to make it. There's a lot of little details in it that don't take too long to do. So I hope you enjoyed it. All of my links will be listed below. And if you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love a chance to work with you. Thank you very much for watching.